one thing that coming to China has taught me is that you don't know a lot.
Yeah.
There's so much that you don't know. No matter how long you study the language, how long you learn of the culture, there's always going to be something that you don't know. And I am very fortunate that anytime I've made any mistakes, I think Chinese people have been very gracious always to tell me, oh, you know, that's not really cool, or maybe don't think about this like that, or maybe it's okay to think like that, but you shouldn't say X, Y, and Z because it could be viewed as this. And I think that sometimes in America, maybe we can be a bit pugilistic about these things.
I think it also comes down to the fact of, you know, am I doing this to solve the problem, or am I doing it to feel righteous? Because if you're doing what you're doing to feel righteous, the most important thing is saying exactly what you believe. But if you're doing it to solve the problem, you kind of may have to, you know, take some L's in the sense that, like, I was really offended by that. Okay, I'm going to assume that you didn't say that with malice.
Exactly.
And not act as if you didn't, even though I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
But because I'd rather live in a world where, like, if I tell you this way, you may actually change the way you think.
Exactly.
But if I just fire back with what I think is right, even though that's, you know, it's not like you want to hold back what you think is right, but if I just fire back, then, like, we don't get anywhere.
Exactly.
And so a lot of the ways that I deal with the cultural challenges, I think now, and involving China, is like this as well. There are a lot of people who say stuff that I feel angry with or whatever, but, like, you gotta treat them almost as if they didn't come from a place of malice.
Exactly.
And weirdly enough, you can almost drag them back to not being in a place of malice if you do that. So, well, let's get more on your content though, because I want to talk a little bit more specifics about videos and stuff that you've done.
No problem.
What are some? First of all, I have to ask before the end of the show, what was it like at Donghua Jinlong? Well, like, you know, because you went to Donghua Jinlong, you saw the industrial food grade glycine.
Oh my God.
You know, so tell real quick.
Wonderful.
What happened with Donghua Jinlong? So for people who don't know, how would you explain? Give me 30 seconds on Donghua Jinlong, just for people that haven't seen the memes.
Donghua Jinlong is a meme that was... It's basically an absurd meme that kind of got popular on TikTok and on Instagram because their marketing was very absurdist, and it just got...
It's a Chinese factory that
produces glycine.
Produces glycine. What is glycine?
It is a food additive that is put in a lot of different things. It is something that humans can naturally get through their diet, but it's usually used as an additive to, you know, help kind of supplement.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they make glycine, and there's a type of Chinese advertising that works well here, but just seems absurdist in the West, where they're just very forthright and honestly telling you how good the product is. We've kind of moved past it. Wonder Bread, it tastes great.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that anymore. But they're just like, let us show you our factory. Let us show you how we produce the best food grade glycine.
It's great.
It's great glycine. I mean, and I have to say, I was pounding that stuff before it got big. But you know, we put glycine in everything in my home. But no, so you actually living in China though, you have this meme about this glycine factory, and you're just like, I can actually go there thanks to the great public transport.
It was incredible. I just had this idea one day. I was like, I'm gonna go. I'm actually gonna go.
I'm glad I saw that video because I was thinking of doing that, and I was like, and then you actually did it. I was like, oh, I'm not doing it now. Like, somebody else already went there.
It was great. They treated me so well. They I went all the way to the factory. I got on the Gaotie. I took it to Shijiazhuang, and then I got off, took a cab. And I'm sure the cab driver was probably like, "Where's this guy going?"
Yeah.
And then I remember even when he dropped me off, he's like, "Here." I'm like, "Yeah." You know, let me cook. Let me cook.
He's like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. I got out, and then when I was filming myself. Just as I was packing up and getting ready to leave, they walked out and they welcomed me, and they're like, "Oh, come inside of the factory. We'll show you around."
So did you have that set up, or you really just went like without any clue whether you could contact them?
I had no idea. I literally my whole goal was actually just to go to the outside of the factory
and that was all you were expecting.
And then go and then leave. I didn't even wind up booking a hotel that day because I didn't know if I was going to stay in Shijiazhuang.
I hoped it was like that, but there's so much fako on the internet now that it's like, I'm going to go here and do all this thing.
This is a real story.
You really took the leap. And so, did they know about the meme?
They were so into the meme.
Yeah.
They're so into the meme, guys. They're so into the meme. I went there, and then they just wound up coming out, and then they greeted me, and then they were talking about, oh yeah, like, you're not the first person who came because of TikTok.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't the first. They're like, yeah, someone came from, actually, I think from Tsinghua. I think someone from Tsinghua had gone the week prior or 2 weeks before I went, and they're like,
a Glycine mecca now.
So now it's a pilgrimage.
That's great. So what was the factory like? Did you really, when you looked at it, do you say, these are the people I want making my industrial food grade glycine?
Like, they take their glycine very seriously. They don't play games about their industrial food grade glycine. Yeah, they don't play.
And this was one of the weird things that I kind of feel like, one of the big things I think about a lot between the US and China and how to fix the problems is trust. And in some ways, part of the challenge of trusting anything in China is they're like, oh, they're trying to get theirs, we're trying to get ours. But like, there was something about the way that they're just like, we're really proud of our machines, and we like make really good stuff, and we wish you would come. And like, I feel like a lot of people here are like that. They just don't go viral.
Exactly.
You know, the tea people are like that. They really care about the tea. They're here drinking great tea every day. They care about the porcelain. They care about all this stuff. People are like, oh, am I going to get lead poisoning? Like, no, they drink it themselves. They don't give their kids drink tea. They're not going to give their kid lead poisoning. But like, it's easy to kind of forget that.
Exactly.
And so when you went there and interacted with them, like, what did they think about the meme? Like, what did they think was the reason why this went viral?
Oh, they were actually, I think they were a bit confused, actually, because
they really didn't know.
What they told me was that they outsourced their marketing to a third-party agency.
Yeah.
And the agency then took the reins and created this creative, and then posted it on social media platforms, namely TikTok and Instagram. And all of a sudden, they just got this surge of people who were interested in their company, and they didn't understand why. They were like, "What? Why is this so popular?"
It's so funny with the way everybody's so like dead on advertising actually working that like when it worked, they were like,
"This
like,
worked."
Why did it work?
But they were really on it. Though they were like, "We're gonna make a merch store. We're making T-shirts. We're making hats. I actually do have a video coming. I got a PR package from Donghua Jinlong.
Oh, that's fun.
So I'm gonna do an unboxing video sometime soon.
Maybe we can even cut into that if we have the ability. And maybe we're back. But like, you know, so what do you think? I mean, not to make too big of a point of it, but what can we learn about the Donghua Jinlong saga and our ability to live on the same planet together?
I think just be authentic.
Yeah.
Like, just make content. Just do things.
Yeah.
You know, I would say that in
it's almost like Nike is instead of just do it, just do things.
This is, I think.
This is true though. Everybody's like, I hear a bajillion people that are like, well, I got this great plan of how I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make this and this and this, and I have 3 different things running at the same time. I'm like, you haven't done anything.
Yeah.
Make one thing.
Yeah.
Then make another.
Yeah.
And maybe it goes somewhere, and maybe it doesn't. But like, I
think that's the biggest thing I've learned from both my time in grad school and just living in China in general. Just be yourself, and just if there's something that you want to do, just do it.
Yeah.
I know it sounds so inane to make this, to make this point. Just do it. You know, just
good stuff happens when you do stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like linear. It doesn't happen.
It definitely not linear.
But if you do stuff, good stuff might happen. If you don't do stuff, nothing really happens.